Let's focus mainly on happiness. Can you be happy when you are restless? You can have.
Yesterday also some people sent me this question. There's a sense of, this is from the audience. They say that, a lot of people here have kids that are born here. And so they feel that they are from the United States. The others have been born in India but don't have citizenship and they've come here. So they don't have a sense of belonging. How do they build that sense of belonging? And to who do they build it to? Do they build it to the United States? Do they build it to India? What do they do? A lot of them are confused.
Well, this is a matter of attitude altogether. The humanity is moving into a different direction altogether. Thinking oneself to be just an Indian, or just a Hindu, or just a Christian, or just a Muslim, or just an American citizen, it's limiting us. Ideal thing is we are all human. Citizenship, etc. is too superficial. But we, in a practical world, when we are living in the United States, our allegiance is to the United States. You live in India, your allegiance is to India. Now, what is the difference between allegiance and cherishing the values? The American value system, Indian value system, they are both great in their own individual sense. I pick up both, best of both the worlds. What we are doing, new culture that is emerging, I'm not complaining of youth, I'm complaining of adults who have crossed 40s. They have picked up the worst of both. You see atta parties going on outside. You can see it in front of your eyes. They pick up the worst of India, the worst of the United States and combine and say, wow, we are enjoying life. That will be a tragedy. If you want to align yourself as a youth and become an ideal, have a universal principle and if possible go to a cosmic principle. But implementally, I think when we as husband and wife meditate together, to me it's the best solution. Try this out also, people who are in the bed together, hold each other's hand and inhale together and exhale together. Even this simple exercise will take you to a different level of bonding. Don't figure out where you have gone wrong, because surely you will find out not you're wrong, but other person's wrong. Because when you're taking the account of relationship, you're not looking only at yourself, you're looking at the other person also. So you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you're supposed to do this, then you're in big trouble.
But,
so instead of identifying which thing I should be looking for, let's focus on what I should not be engaging myself in.
Sorry, Daaji. I'm not able to hear you well, but I will still ask my question. Daaji, when you were talking about relationships, sometimes, people feel they are taken for granted. So my mother feels that I take her for granted. And, I want to build my relationship more with her. But, it's not transactional, it's just love. And I think that's more and more what she wants more of my time. Same thing, sometimes I can take my spouse for granted also. But how do we break this? How do we make relationships secure? I love the fact that you said that, you can hold hands and, you go into different space. And I think that's something that we have to try. But how can we what can we do to make sure that the other person doesn't feel that they're taken for granted?
Well, I have not pondered over all these, negative aspects of relationships, and it's difficult for me to answer that. Well, if I have to watch my back every step I do, then I'm not in good relationship.
That's true.
See, if my wife demands that every evening I bring roses, then I don't think I can put up with such a wife. I have to accept whether, it's a once and for all sort of a bond that we are making, especially in our tradition. You are happy or going through hell, that is one relationship we learn to live with. So it's easy to say I can't put up with this nonsense. But that has become a trend, and then divorces happen just like that. On drop of a hat, you are divorced. But it takes a lot to stay put and accept each other. In America, we have this idea of tolerance, ethnic tolerance, tolerating your neighbors. In fact, I had a conversation with one of the Sikhs in the United Arab Emirates, where they had formed the Ministry of Tolerance. And I said, what a mockery. Then I asked the Sikh, suppose you tell your wife, honey, I tolerate you. So why are you creating such a nomenclature for the ministry which is so noble? So in relationship there is so much of acceptance that you are not even aware of this fact that I am accepting or not. So if you have to retake the accounts of your relationship, then I think something has gone wrong. I should not develop contemplative mind. And contemplative mind demands some level of ability of mind to focus. And ability of mind to focus rests in the hands of a meditator. What a question. Many years back I read a book by Swami Vivekananda. And he described 3 great women that he heard about. And all across the line he says the quality these 3 women shared, and even after 5,000 years or 10,000 years we still remember them, is because of their humility. Humility makes them so irresistibly attractive. That's all I can say.
That's amazing, thank you.
Imagine, you may have beauty, far galore, but if such a beautiful woman has arrogance, think the opposite way. Then you will realize what's the use of such a beautiful woman. She is full of arrogance and nothing to do with the person. So it is humility, that awareness, that awareness of the whole beauty. It will take it to a next level.
Thank you so much. That was really insightful. Now, why a lot of men admire humility in women? What do you feel women should admire in men?
Courage. Imagine having a husband who is always trying to hide behind you. It won't be a right husband. He will say, oh, somebody is attacking, and he says, Upasana, why don't you find out who is out there? Then you laugh at such a husband. What are you doing? You should be in the forefront and try to tackle the problem. So I would say the man, I would look for something which spoke out with his courage.
So courage for men and humility for women. That's something that we will work towards achieving. So, Daaji, the world is going through so much turmoil and people are, trying to be happy and finding their happiness from within. And it's a constant search. All of us are seeking happiness. What is the one thing that we need to do in our daily routine that's easy? Meditation for a lot of people is tough. So, what are the simple things one thing that we can do to achieve happiness?
Well, let's think in a different way. Would you be happy when
my grandmother's with you?
But you are not here. Anyway, good to see you. Your best friend is also here. Let's see.
Recording in progress.
Oh, so sweet.
All right.
As this beautiful, young, inspiring lady walking into the stage, let us all welcome her with a very warm heart. Applause. Namaskaram. Welcome. We are very honored that you are here amongst us. And most of our people here, they admire you, they follow you, and you are an inspiration for women and all the changes you're bringing, and your love for your animals. You are the chief editor of the Be Positive magazine, and we are so impressed that great people, great personalities like Amir Khan, coming and visiting you instead of you going there, and we are very proud of our Telugu women, Upasana family.
We at the Apollo Foundation believe in giving back to the community with empathy and dignity. Our philanthropic work started 3 in 1983 when Dr. C. Reddy started Apollo Hospitals. The third generation, with Upasana at the front, has now taken the flame from the founder of the group. There are 2 eminent programs under the umbrella of the Apollo Foundation: Total Health and Billion Hearts Beating. Total Health stems from Dr. Reddy's love for his village, Aravura, in Andhra Pradesh. The program is based on his ideal of providing complete care from womb to tomb. Our mobile clinics hit the road daily, taking health care to the doorstep of people in villages and forests. Our Arjava warriors are people from the community who bridge the gap between medical teams and local communities. Arjava warriors also recruit people for the Skills Development Project for the financial stability of the community. On World Environment Day, we organized a cleanliness drive to pick up plastic at a stretch of 100 kilometers between the Amrabad Tiger Reserve and Nagarjuna Sagar Srisailam Tiger Reserve.
In a tie-up with the World Wildlife Fund for Nature, we have committed to providing free medical help to forest rangers who are often involved in people-animal conflict.
We will soon launch philanthropy tourism at our centers in Amrabad and Aragoda by the end of 2022. We serve people in 150 senior care homes across India by providing free health checkups, medicines, and rations. Join our community on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
after a short video of revered Daaji. And Namaste Daaji. And before we...
That's Upasana.
She is our guest. Please respect.
Please share my on Apollo Foundation and then we can take it forward.
Okay.
We really appreciate everything.
Please.
We are very grateful to the American Telugu Association, the President Bhuvanesh Mojala Garu, Secretary Hari Lingala Garu. Thank you so much. There is no words to express how much they have helped, worked with us to take this beautiful method of heartfulness as a message to entire community, and with every heart that we touched here today, more hearts are going to be touched. So we thank ATA leadership. And also we would like to thank Dr. Prem Sagar Reddy Garu. We are very grateful, sir, for your presence here amongst us. Elders like you are an inspiration for youth, and we are very grateful, sir. Thank you for coming. Dr. Chandrasekhar Reddy Garu, Dr. G. Reddy Prasad Garu, Dr. Sudarshan Reddy Garu, Dr. Raghav Reddy Garu, Dr. Sri Parshuram Reddy Garu, and our minister who just left because he had an appointment, Yerraballi Dayakar Rao Garu, Minister of Panchayat Raj and Rural Development RWS, and our dear friend of Upasana, Eddie Stern, who is a renowned yoga teacher and author from New York. And thank you for many of our guests that have come from our Telugu Association. So, ATA Tarpuna, Heartfulness Tarpuna, మీ అందరికీ మా కృతజ్ఞతలు. Thank you all. We do have a few announcements, so if you can just give us a few minutes as Upasana Hardal leaves the stage, we will come back. Thank you all.
Okay, please. Sisters, please.
Oh, thank
So how do you want to take your foundation in the next 5 years? We actually and I just assumed that and they actually recognize me. I didn't recognize them. person with the black shirt. I made him out of the list. Speaking about the volunteering opportunities and collaborations, right? So what kind of volunteering opportunity you want to give to the youth, Indian youth living here in the United States? How can you collaborate with them and what are the opportunities for them to work under your policy?
She is going to give an interview in 303. She is going to give the interview in 303, not here. 303. 301, please. No, it takes a long time. 301, media things that. Please go to 301.
My last question to you. I mean, we see like social media. In fact, you're very active on social media. But how do you? My question to you is, how do you accept the negativity around you? I mean, there's so much of negativity around on the social media, so much of criticism. How do you handle that? One picture, please. One picture.
Please, sisters, please.
One picture.
Can I request everybody to sit down?
All of that victory. Okay? These are all the people.
I think you should come too. Yes, because he's part of our from the Ahmedabad. Yes,
Just a second.
Turn this side.
And even
Okay. All right, done. All right, now please.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, she's not okay. Can be taken.
బయట మీరు చాలా ఈవెంట్స్ ఇస్తున్నప్పటికీ ఇలాంటి ఈవెంట్స్ చాలా ఇంట్రెస్ట్ చేసుకుంటూ సో ఎలా అనిపిస్తుంది ఇక్కడికి వచ్చి ఇంతమంది తెలుగు వాళ్ళని తెలుసుకుంటారు?
I think great. I think I'm in Hyderabad or any place in India,
Oh, nice. So, ఎలా అనిపిస్తుంది వాళ్ళ రెస్పాన్స్ ఎలా? Because మీరు all the way to Hyderabad only for women empowerment and Apollo Foundation. So, ఎలా అనిపిస్తుంది? Actually, women కి గురించి కావాలి. So,
unite this creed within them. And once you have that, and that's what I've been saying, I've come to say that here as well. So I think they have so much opportunity to give back, and if they want to volunteer, that they can come forward for them. Because we can all come together. Whether it's here or whether if it's in India, just your heart has to be in the right place, and that's what I'm.
Positivity and Upasana and positivity. So at least like them because more positivity like women ki చాలా మైండ్ పీస్ గా ఉండాలి, పీస్ఫుల్ గా they can work అనే ఒక
she's not doing it. Okay. Can you take that?
Yesterday also some people sent me this question. There's a sense of, this is from the audience, they say that a lot of people here have kids that are born here, and so they feel that they are from the United States. The others have been born in India but don't have citizenship and they've come here, so they don't have a sense of belonging. How do they build that sense of belonging? And to who do they build it to? Do they build it to the United States? Do they build it to India? What do they do? A lot of them are confused.
Well, this is a matter of attitude altogether. The humanity is moving into a different direction altogether. Thinking oneself to be just an Indian, or just a Hindu, or just a Christian, or just a Muslim, or just an American citizen, it's limiting us. Ideal thing is we are all human. Citizenship, etc. is too superficial. But we, in a practical world, see, when we are living in the United States, our allegiance is to the United States. You live in India, your allegiance is to India. Now, what is the difference between allegiance and cherishing the values? The American value system, Indian value system, they are both great in their own individual sense. I pick up both, best of both the worlds. What we are doing, new culture that is emerging. I'm not complaining of youth, I'm complaining of adults who have crossed 40s. They have picked up the worst of both. You see Atta parties going on outside. You can see it in front of your eyes. They pick up the worst of India, the worst of the United States and combine and say, wow, we are enjoying life. That will be a tragedy. If you want to align yourself as a youth and become an ideal, have a universal principle and if possible go to a cosmic principle.